Hey, coffee and espresso lovers, Mark here from Whole Latte Love. Today we're going to take a look at the Jura E6 automatic coffee machine. It's really cool. Before we get started, now we're going to go all through this. Before we get started, I want to show you how I can control this machine with an optional accessory on here through my smartphone. So I'm just going to say, hey Siri, make my double espresso. And it should start doing that. Yep, here she goes. So while it's making my double espresso, right now it's grinding the beans fresh. Let's just take a quick look at this machine. Now, last week I took a look at the Jura D6, which is kind of a little brother of this machine. Doesn't have quite as nice a display and some lower capacities. If you want to check out that video, you can use a link right up here. So this is bean to cup coffee, and it's making a really nice espresso for me right now. Again, I use my smartphone to make that happen, but I don't have to do that. I can use the color TFT display here. Another upgrade from the D6 that you get on the E6 is that color display. You can do all that control right there. So there's my espresso, really nice, lots of crema. When this machine is brewing an espresso, it uses PEP, that's pulse extraction process, so you get a deeper, richer espresso from this machine. I'm going to take a little taste of that because I really enjoy espresso. Oh, I really like that. So let's take a look at the machine. Up top here is the bean hopper. So this is where you put in your fresh whole beans. I'm using one of my favorite coffees, so I can load the beans in there. It's got quite a nice bean capacity, a little higher than on the D6. Does have a nice seal on the lid here to keep your beans nice and fresh. Then behind there, two doors. On the first door, we've got the adjustment for our grind size. So you can go from a finer grind if you're doing more espresso, or a coarser grind if you tend to do longer coffees, or somewhere in between, or whatever works for your coffee. Next door to that, little access door. Jura is all about convenience in their machine. So a lot of other manufacturers use a removable brew group. That's like the little mini barista inside the machine. In the Jura machines, you don't remove the brew group for cleaning. You just use one of these little tablets right here. When the machine tells you to do it, you drop it in here and it runs through a cleaning cycle real quick. Over here, we have a water reservoir. This one, again, it's a little higher capacity. It's about 64 ounces, so you can make, what is that, real quick, 10 6-ounce coffees or a whole bunch of espressos. Inside, you'll see it uses a filter, a water filter here. Now, if you use the filter, and another Jura exclusive and making things really easy, if you use the filter as recommended by Jura, you never have to descale this machine. Now, on most machines, when you heat water, it's going to create some scale buildup inside, and every once in a while you have to descale it. So use the Jura Smart Filter. You never have to descale, and also it has an RFID chip in the filter, so the machine knows when you change the filter, and it also alerts you as to when to change the filter. So that's going to go right up here. Now you can fill this at the machine, or you can take it off and fill it at the sink if you prefer to do that. So when you brew a coffee, what you end up with is that, this is fresh, whole bean coffee ground for each cup. So what you have inside in here is a little used coffee drawer. And you can see the espresso I just made, the results of that are in here. You get a much, much nicer coffee than you would, say, out of a capsule machine. And also, it's not going to cost you nearly as much. Those capsules, really expensive. Whole bean coffee, not really all that expensive at all in comparison. And underneath that is a large drip tray, so any water that you miss or coffee that you miss is going to end up in here, and the machine will tell you when that needs to be emptied as well. So I'll slide that back in. Something else I want to show you is the adjustable spouts here. Now you can go all the way down to like an espresso size cup, or these adjust up like this. And you can fit a much larger cup in there if you want. So a little later on, I'm going to do a cappuccino as well. You can see I've got my milk connected here, and we'll go over how all that works. Really cool to be able to control your machine using an app on your smartphone. That'll work on a tablet as well. Again, that's an optional accessory, and it's a little Bluetooth receiver. Here, I'll pull it out and show it to you. It's this little guy here. It's Jura's Smart Connect right there. But you just pop one of these in, not real expensive, and you can control your machine using that with your smartphone. That includes programming drinks, making other drinks, so you can have a whole library of different styles of drinks if you want. It's really cool stuff. But if you choose not to go there, you do have a really nice color touchscreen. As you can see on the screen right now, I have those drinks available to me. I've got an espresso, the cappuccino, the coffee, or I can get plain just milk foam. If I want to get two of the coffee drinks, I just hit the button twice and I can make two. So let's go in and take a look at the controls you have here. So I just press the P button here. And so right here I can run cleaning, descaling cycles. Again, I don't need to do a descaling cycle if I use the filter. I can clean the milk system, or if I'm going to do some filter options, I've got that there. On the next page, I can rinse the milk system here, rinse the coffee system. If I go to the next one, that's where we get into expert mode. And here's where you do your programming. So I can choose to program my espresso or my coffee, hot water, milk foam, and then on the third screen, cappuccino. So let's go back and see the controls you have on espresso. So I can do the volume of the espresso, and I can range up to, from I think it's half an ounce here, and you can change this to milliliters if you'd like, by the way, up to 2.5 ounces. I like mine at 1.5, so I'll press save there. And the machine has saved that, and it keeps that until I change it. For coffee strength, on the E6 here, we've got 8 possible coffee strengths, so a lot of control. And on the in Jura machines, they use up to 16 grams per cycle. So that's more than most other machines. So I'm going to save that. And then we've got one more screen here. So we'll go into temperature, and from here you can go normal or high, so you have 2 temperatures. I like mine hot, so I'm going to save that. Now I want to show you one more thing. So the coffee would program the same way, but I want to go in and show you how the cappuccino programs, because you got how you're going to deal with the milk, right? So you've got that same volume and coffee strength that you had with the espresso or coffee. Then over here we've got temperature, again same thing, and then the amount of milk. So here what you do is you use seconds to program the amount of milk. And for the cup I'm going to be using later, I know 11 seconds is right, so I'm going to save that. And then you've got one more thing that you can do here. So if we go one more screen, there's also an interval here. So what you can do here is set an interval of how long it is between milk being put into your cup and the espresso brewing over it. And that's going to allow you to create a drink that has some layers to it. I don't want any layering in my cappuccino, so I'm going to leave that right at 0. So that's good. Now to get out of here, I just back out using the return key, and I'm right back here. So let's make that cappuccino. Again, this is pretty, on a machine at this level, to be able to make a cappuccino without moving your cup, that's kind of special. Now I could start that by telling Siri to do it, but I'll show you how it works on the machine. Pretty easy. Just press the button here. So right now, coffee is grinding. I set my espresso to full strength. And also the machine is heating up to steam milk. And you can see the little display there, a little indication, a little thermometer there in the display that's heating up. And in a moment, it will tell me to open the milk switch once that gets heated up. But my coffee is already ground. So now I just open the switch here. And it's doing my nice fine milk froth right into my cup. After 11 seconds, it's going to tell me to close that switch. And it's a very, very nice milk foam. Okay, so I've got that. And now it's going to brew, I think I had this set for 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of espresso. So that's going to brew right in my cup. And again, to be able to make a milk-based drink like this without moving your cup on this level of machine, that's pretty special. And it gives me an indication. If I was getting close, I could always stop this just by hitting the switch right here. But I'm going to make a really nice looking cappuccino. It's going to come right up to the lid there with that foam, and there you go. So if you're like me and you have a wife at home, I go to make a cup of coffee and she generally wants one too. So you can do 2 coffees on this machine at once, or 2 espressos. So I'm just going to place my 2 glasses there. That's why you have those 2 spouts. Now I could just press the coffee button twice on here. It'll make me 2 coffees, but I really do like the app, so I'm just going to use the app to do it. Hey Siri, make 2 coffees. And I'll set this up so you can see what's going on here. So it gives me like the 3 seconds to cancel, so I'm going to help hold that up a little bit. then I can cancel this at any time. But it's grinding those whole beans fresh for me. And you know, the coffee from freshly ground whole beans is going to be so much better than what you can do from a capsule. And it's usually less than half the price for the coffee itself. You pay an awful lot for those capsules. And really, there's just no better way to have a better cup of coffee than to grind beans fresh. And that's what this Jura machine does. And if you take a look at that coffee that's coming out, you're never going to get a cup of coffee that looks like that out of a capsule machine. So really nice. Our app here, again, you don't have to use the app. I think it's really cool. It's really not all that expensive for the little Bluetooth receiver that goes in. And Jura does have some other machines that use that Smart Connect and the J.O.E app. Again, you know, if I was doing a lot of long coffees all the time, I might set my grind maybe just a little coarser. But you can kind of split the middle if you're doing both espresso and coffee and get a really nice cup. That tells me I'm kind of done there. But there you go. Really nice coffee from fresh ground whole beans. It's going to be so much better than what you can do out of those capsules. And again, really more convenient. I don't have a piece of plastic I have to go throw away. Inside that coffee drawer I showed you earlier holds results of 16 grind cycles. So you really only have to deal with that every 16 cups. But let's give this a taste. Yeah. I mean, if you put this side by side with capsule coffee, there's just a world of difference. All right, so let's just go over the machine one more time. Again, bean to cup coffee. We are using a couple accessories here. Again, I really like the Smart Connect. That's an optional accessory that allows you to control your machine using your smartphone or a tablet. And actually goes a little deeper here. You can create other drinks beyond what's on the menu here, save those, get all kinds of statistics from the machine, know how many drinks you've made, and you can start cleaning cycles and other things from that. Also over here, I am using the Jura glass milk container. Now you can stick this tube here into any milk container and use that as a source. I do really like the glass container. I can pull this, you know, take it right in and out of the fridge and be ready to go to make milk drinks. They do have some other accessories, including right on up to a countertop refrigerated unit that keeps your milk cold constantly on the countertop, so it's always ready to go. Again, Jura makes it really easy to maintain the machines. Cleaning the machine, just a matter of dropping in a tablet. If I wanted to rinse the milk circuit, I can do that really, really easily. Here you see little drops here. So I just press that button and then I can run a rinse cycle there if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that right now, but it is very easy. Again, it does have the larger water capacity than some of the other Jura machines, and does use the smart filter. And it's true on all Jura machines that if you use that filter, no descaling is ever going to be needed. So that's the Jura E6. If you have any questions about this machine or anything coffee, use those comments. I'll be more than happy to help you out. I'm Mark from Whole Latte Love. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you come on back soon for more of the best on everything coffee. Want to learn more? Subscribe now so you'll know about the latest videos on everything coffee from Whole Latte Love.